Hi, welcome to Ocean Yummy's channel. I went on. I went out yesterday after all of the stuff that's been going on. Yes, there is a level of tension in the air. It's very much tense. People sitting certain ways when you're on the bus. I mean, though it's not, though the riot has not hit London, but it's like it's coming. It's like we feel it coming in a kind of way. Um, there was one person that was sitting, and a couple came on, a white couple. Um, she sat on the edge of the chair, and then she changed where she was sitting. He didn't want to sit with nobody. It was so obvious what was going on. People's like, though everybody's moving around as normal. Obviously, as you've seen in the news, they're doing cleanups in certain places. There are still people rioting. The the prime minister have put out um, charges to those who was rioting. There's ones that was arrested and they was charged. I might put that up later. I don't know. I'll see. And yeah, there's a whole heap going on, and it seems like they're trying to find people. They're trying to find people who was also gesturing at the Sky News. There was a guy gesturing on the Sky News. Um, the Muslim community, however, some of them are actually pretty good. You know what I mean? Considering there's a whole threat against them. The imam at one at one mosque, he was giving out tea to the ones he was protecting. He was reaching out to people. He was literally reaching out to people, which is very, very. I will say, I'll give him his dues. There was people getting beaten up on the road as some of them was leaving places. There's a video that was circulating of a man getting beaten up or jumped. Um, how do I really feel about this? If this don't bring people together, truly bring people together, I'll be very surprised. Because how I look at this, like this year, people have brought stuff to this country. My grandmother was probably asked to come here. They talk about immigrants, but my grandmother was asked to come here. She was an SCN nurse. I don't know what part, but she was an SCN nurse. She worked. She was asked to come here. She gave up where she was living to come here. This is the story of many of the Windrush era, the Windrush generation, right? The Indians came over here, brought over the Chinese, the you name it. Everybody's given a little bit of themselves to England. Whether you are third, fourth, fifth generation, sixth generation, right? You have an understanding of um how things are. This also brings me back to the time of the riots in London with the youngsters when the youngsters kicked off, because I remember seeing one of the youngsters running along my road, well, a couple of them. This also brings me back to the time when the soldier got unalived in Woolwich. The tension was in the air. Like I said, it's like they used the children's plight to say, well, yeah, we are doing it for the children. Like others has asked, what about when Leah lets unalive several young babies who was in NICU, was in special care unit. Um, what about the boy who got unalived? He was an innocent. There's many I could throw out at this time. But time will not have me do this. This is very sad because some of us is coming up now, right in England, London. Some has left London, some have left England and gone and lived elsewhere, probably gone to Africa, probably gone to Gambia, or some's gone back to their parents, where where the parents came from. And it's like England is like a melting pot of cultures, you can say. Every culture's brought something to England, whether it be curry, jerk chicken, something, dance, music, you name it. Right? The skinheads have this thing where they listen to ska. That ska, same ska music came from Jamaica. It didn't come from here. It came over here. So, like one person has said in many posts, so maybe we should take back what is ours as well then, because if you see us as it's like an inconvenience or something. I remember one time in LBC when they used to talk about being PC and saying certain stuff, and people used to get mad because they couldn't say certain things, they couldn't do certain things. Mind you, when you go out on the road and you see somebody clenching their purse as you're walking, it's really interesting. It's not just the older generation. Or you'll turn up in a shop, and because they've been going to them shops for ages, wherever the shop is, they look at you with disrepute like you shouldn't even be there. It's just crazy to me. Or or you go to an area, you ask them, how do I get to there? They won't tell you. Whereas like if you reach certain parts, they'll say, okay, you go here, you take a right, you gotta they don't tell you. I've been there myself. And it's like even watching the police. It's like watching Belfast, them times when I don't know when those old things what you watched, it takes you back to a lot of stuff. Now you're starting war in your on your own your own turf, your own area, your own, it doesn't make sense to me. Like people come here to get away from wars and tribulations and all sorts of things, right? And the fact that they went to a hotel where the immigrants was and tried to unalive them. Seemed like they tried to unalive them like they did to Granville. That's when I saw that. That just reminded me of Granville right away. It's like you're like it's like you was trying to spark up the fire. You set the fire, you set the bins up, and you put it to the side, and you went in, you trashed the inside. So I'm like watching like on one of those dictator movies where like the dictator has said, okay, right, we don't want these people here. They go in, they get the people, they're unalived, and that's what came to my mind, my vision. It's a very scary time for people with anxiety, particularly the ones who don't really go as far as their nose in certain places. It brings back anxiety, you know, because London is a beautiful place. London is pretty, whether you go to Glastonbury, Brighton, uh, Battersea. London is a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place. Some of the people are nice. They are nice. I mean, like you get the odd ignorant one, mind you, but there is some nice people in the world, right? You'll meet people from all different countries. You learn about all different countries. You don't even have to step out of England to even go to them countries. This is the beauty of having the melting pot that it has here. Not only that, England has a very interesting history. If you look into England's history on certain stuff, the history is vast, it's big from the Blitz, Victorian times, Tudor times, go backwards, forwards, however. Just now, I just watched about the Titanic, and it's like they talk about all these stuff. There is immigrant stuff that work. That's work. There's a man. That car got torched. He's a carer. He was caring for somebody when his car got torched. You know, there's immigrants who look after elderly. They'll be in the home with the people, looking after people. They're Indian, Tamil, um, African of all sorts of genres. Like, who's looking after these people? You know, and it's just like, oh, they're taking away our jobs. We know England at one was, well, still kind of struggling. It's picking up now. Okay, it's trying to pick up. Right, I don't. To me, when I see different people, when I see a Muslim woman on driving a bus, as much as it's shocking to me, well, you know what? That shows you how much the world has moved on. The world has moved on. It's not like how it was back in whatever time people want to stay in their heads or whatever. There's Muslim women driving buses in her whole that long dress and her headscarf, right? And to me, if people want to work when they're in the country, they want to feed the economy, that's a good thing. I don't see nothing wrong in that. There's jobs for everybody. It's just a matter of getting the jobs. It's whether you want to get the job. Sometimes you can even create a job, but it all depends on the economy. And it's true, when the economy is at its poorest, they go to the people that they can blame so that they can feel good about themselves for whatever reason. And you're just like, does it make you feel good? No. To me, my grandmother, I know for one, my grandmother worked two jobs when I was young. When I was coming up, she was working two, three jobs. She was doing a lot, right? My grandmother, not only that, she was here and she was in Trinidad. She was always doing something. She never was not doing nothing, right? My mum is the same. I'm sure half my family is the same, right? And even some people don't want to be on certain stuff sometimes. Some people's very proud. They don't want to be on certain stuff. They want to be part of that. They want to be able to be independently work for themselves. And there's even immigrants who be in food banks helping out to give food to the people who needs it. There's people who's feeding homeless people. Hell, Muslims go out, Sikhs go out and feed homeless veterans, homeless people on the streets. I don't see what is the problem. I really don't see what is the problem. The tension in this place is crazy. It's like you get a whole headache. When you walk outside, your whole body, you can feel it through your body. How tense it is. It's like, people are it's like there is a readiness for something because the EDO has put out that they're going to Walthamstow yesterday. They're going here to do what? To do this. In the videos, people have looked at the videos, the TikToks, etc. They're literally mashed up cars, houses. One lady said her cousin was in a house, they ripped off the door, they mashed up the glass. It's like they wanted to come in and unalive the family in there. There's a video where there's a car, they drive up to the car, they mash up the car, they mash up the window, they drive into the house. I said to my daughter, suppose somebody was in the front room. Suppose there's somebody there. There's no, what you call it? It's just like, this is not the 80s. It's not the 80s. Things have moved on. If you haven't educate your grandchildren into how the world's moved on, there's people marrying people from different countries, Chinese marrying black, white, different people are not standing still. This is a time where people are not standing still. They're not waiting for the fourth, whatever generation to catch up. While people was rioting, there was a whole reggae uh festival going on the other end where there was a multitude of people, mixtures. at this reggae thing, why them people was rioting and doing the most in Birmingham and Middlesbrough, Belfast, and all over. Because some people see the benefits of what is going on when there's other people from other countries. One guy called up LBC and he even said he's 55 years old, and he said it was one of those holidays. He said the neighbors put out jerk chicken pan. They was making rice and peas. The music was going. Everybody was giving everybody everything. He learnt languages, everything. And you see something wrong. Yes, there is bad people in the world. There's bad immigrant, good immigrant. Yes, there is. There is. There's bad people all over the world. Over. World over. Right? Pedophiles come in all shapes and sizes and colours, and you can name. It's not just one set of people who like that. Okay. So for you to use that as a thing, as a crutch, I don't even know what to say, as a hold on to, you need to go and understand the peoples that is in the country. People literally have an issue with what? That's what I want to know. What? Because you don't want to work. Some people want to work in the caring system. They won't even look after your white grandma and feel no way. They'll take the abuse from your white grandma and feel no way. They'll clean your grandma. They'll bathe your grandma. They will feed the grandma. And you saying, oh, there's no work. When I go on sites, I see work. Just a matter of getting trained and getting out there. People with criminal records sometimes are not so lucky to get work, but you can actually get to do something. You just have to try, keep trying to get something. You can't blame immigrants. Not only that, it's the economy that is on some crazy up and down thing too. The economy, some people are very lucky to be working and in their jobs, because as soon as if they step out that job, they will never find another job. Some people, and you're saying what? He's saying all that. He said all that. Now, like I said, the Prime Minister's put out, and he said that how if you're caught writing, it can be 10 years in jail. I think, and then it's 7 years for another one. And I can't remember how it goes exactly because I'm old. I can't remember. But it is very much sad being a person who lives in the London right now. Now, what is so stupid on top of that? The tourism. Have you not thought about the tourism that feeds your country? They are being told not to come to the country. They're being told not to come here. Now, if your tourism dries up, then you're in big trouble, because you know Buckingham Palace brings in money, Tower London brings in money, because those are the places that people most probably go to see most of the time. They come here when there is certain holidays. They come here when it's changing of the colour. They come here for all different reasons. You are spoiling your own country. You are not giving it credit, right? And on and like and I'll say it, and plus, you lot go to Spain, you go to Dubai, you go to different countries. You go to different countries, the same countries you hate, the same countries you go to. Also, Ibiza. I don't know. It's just the ignorancy of it. The ignorancy of it. If I want to learn about a country, you know what I does do? I talk to the people, I eat the food. If I'm curious, if I'm really curious about a country and people, I talk to them. Or somehow I end up talking to the people from another country, from somewhere I've never even heard of. That is the beauty of England, London. Right? London is very, very diverse. It's a diverse place. There's diverse areas. Some areas are more set. There's more Muslim in some areas. There's more black in some areas. There's a mixture in other areas. But this is 2024 at the end of the day. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is 2024. The world's evolved. Our children's marrying other people from different countries, marrying them, right? And and I assure you, some black people are very acceptant to their children who's bringing in white people into their families. So even if they disagree with it, they probably won't even say it. But I bet you, if you go to the other end of the spectrum, there's a inner hate until when probably they see their grandchild or something. Some people really are happy when they see their grandchildren and they want to learn to do the hair, they want to learn to do certain stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm going elsewhere on this. I don't know. On this live, man. Because it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. And to think that my child have to mix with somebody's who's ignorant mother who hasn't educated them or integrated them, my child's got to go deal with that shit. Do I feel that my child should deal with? Well, I have to sit down and talk to her and say, "Oh, when someone calls you this, you must rebuttal them." Oh, when they say that how because you're black you can't do this. No, even though like you're supposed to empower your child anyway because it's a black child. It's like the clocks is going back, the time is going back. Your hatred is crazy. And some of them people, they was holding that in. They wanted to let off for a long time. See all how they go on there? They was holding that in. They needed a reason. Those three girls, right, should not have been used as a catalyst because I'm sure I assure you, if the boot was on the other foot, not even Damiola, Stephen Lawrence, because he was an innocent. He didn't deserve to get on alive because of his skin color. But there was no rioting even that time. No, there was no rioting. Nobody rioted or nothing. The most they did was did a walk with the thing, or they reached down there, right? The new crossfire that certainly kicked off a lot of stuff. So my thing, this is how I think the conclusion they came to. Okay, because Palestine is marching and this one's marching, we're gonna march too. Kind of childish. I don't know. Someone have to explain me. It's kind of ridiculous, you know. The London riots, the reason the children kicked off, and it wasn't just one set of children from one particular colour of children. It's all the children across the country kicked off, right? All the children, and the reasoning for it, the children said, because my mum can't afford nothing. My mum can't afford this. If you look at the London riots, if people can remember the London riots and what happened, because it all started off with Mark Duggan. Because ever since people landed in England, they always had problems. They always had some kind of problem. The Musgrove 7, I can't remember. There's so many of them. I can't remember. There's so many of them. But then when you turn it around, in the other day I learned about a new veteran who fought for England. He was a pilot, and he helped England in certain ways. Right, I forgot the man's name. He's Jamaican. No, Trinidadian. I forgot his name. He's on my community tab. And there's you now come now, and you want to destroy the whole world. You want to destroy everything inside. You want to destroy. How is that helping the three girls? How is that bringing light to their plight? The information that was given about the boy was misinformation anyway. Was misinformation. They said, oh, he's an immigrant, or blah de blah de blah de blah. So then all of a sudden there's this hatred. Oh no, it was misinformation. That's why sometimes, right, you got to double check and listen to certain things that's going on before you go back crazy. Because misinformation. The boy did, however, did appear on Doctor Who because they have video of him when he was younger. Now he's 17 now, I think they said. Those three girls, right, should have not have been on alive at all, whether the boy is autistic or not, or whatever. To me, it sounds like he's in care or whatever. We still don't exclude him from the crime that he did. And this is coming from a black woman. Every time I see either a child who is black, white, indifferent, unalived, right, a black woman, talk about it. Sometimes not all the time, but I talk about it. I talk about it with amongst myself, with my friends, or I talk about it with other people, right? I talk about it in my household. Or I won't necessarily put it up on YouTube, but me, a black woman, especially that Lucy Lettsby, that rocked my britches. I'll tell you why it did, because I think I've had a child in special nick at one time. And to think that someone have that power that they can unalive a child like that. But there was no rioting there, like no rioting for that. There's no rioting for that. No outcry. If anything, there were people was merciful on her. Right? So is, like I said, it's very tense over here at this present moment. It brings me back to when, like I said, the soldier that got unalived by that guy in Woolwich. That's what this time reminds me of right now. And it's like, if anybody has anxiety out there, it brings back the anxiety. Because especially when you are a social person before, and then, during certain stuff, the pandemic, certain stuff bring you into yourself. It's taken me ages to come out. And I actually had something to do this weekend. My daughter's like, nah, because there's too much going on out there. Too much. And the way how it's going, it's like nearer and nearer. I think the one was in Essex, I think they said there was. Then they're putting down Nazi thingies on the ground. So the people are saying to people, don't pick it up because it has razors in between it. So please, if you are in London, England, and it's not because it's trending, because it can affect anybody, anybody. Because even around the world, there was protesting everywhere. Nigeria was protesting, Bangladesh was protesting. I can't remember where else was protesting. The earth, in Richie Stevens' words, earth are unread, and it is running red. Because there's so much craziness and BS going on left, right, and centre. I just be glad when I put on and watch my brethren and my sister on the YouTube. It actually relaxes you sometimes when you watch stuff, because then it takes you out of the mind of where you are. That's why when I share my live or do my live, it takes you out of that mindset of certain stuff, because then, like, you got something to look forward to. This is not good. I do not want to be in a time when I have to walk down the street and then I have to be there. Like, no, no, no. And even there's even people that there's so much unaliving. There's been unaliving going on for a long time. For how long? With the taking of young life on streets, and now this thing come up now, right? The fact that the fact that they went to a hotel where the asylum seekers are, and you try to set fire. There's children, women and children in there, first and foremost. There's families in that hotel, right? And you try to set fire to it. It seems like you wanted another Granville situation again, right? If the police wasn't there, heaven knows what would have happened. Heaven knows what would have happened. I dread to think how that child is feeling in fear of it, of people, in fear of people. Then down Crystal Palace, right, a black couple was inside of their car, probably driving, minding their own business. They come out their car, they're antagonizing them. I didn't know here was America. Like I said, and I keep saying to the people from across the pond, what goes on over there, people over here mimic. Because they think, oh yeah, okay, they got away with it. Okay, let's see, we can do it too. They mimic. It's like crazy. Whatever goes on over there, they mimic. Because remember, here is the baby, over there's the mother, right? So, yeah, I feel like, yeah, it's a time. It's a time. It's a time. Me in my big 40s watching this craziness. And I'm just thinking, wow, you're causing civil war on home turf. This is home turf because some of us born here too. So you're telling us who born here that we don't belong here too. Is that what you're saying now? Hmm? That's why people gravitate towards their roots and everything else, because when you come with those arguments there, it makes me look at myself. I'm thinking, right, I think, hmm? So the person I'm walking next to, what do they thinking? What are they thinking? So just take some to kick off, and that's when the mask strip off, and that's when you see the people. All right. But anyways, I ain't gonna prolong my life, right? Because I know like this is a different time, like over here to over in the Americas. And I'll see you in the next one because I just have to I'll just call this a rant, a small rant. It's not even a rant. It's just a little chit chat because I want people to understand how deep this thing is. How deep it is. On the news, it looks like, yeah, oh yeah, they're rioting. It's a lot more deeper than that because they're setting up agendas. Genders already is a setting up, and then they're feeding into the agenda. And they're so stupid. If they really check it, right, and they see what people from other lands have done for here, you would not be doing what you're doing right now. This place is so integrated. I mean, I used to have a problem with people dancing to Afrobeat at one time. Even I had to learn as a bigger person to not look at that like that. But now I'm looking at it, maybe I should have stuck to what I said because you're learning to cook the food, you're learning the culture, you're going into the culture, you're learning that culture. That culture, right? On a Saturday night or whatever night when they go on a drunken spree, you're going for the curry, you're reaching for the vindaloos, like you're reaching for that and the Cobra beer, right? So if all these things got taken away, what would you have? Because eels and whatever else you eat, here there's spices. Indians bought spices. West Indians bought spices. Bought the yam, banana, green banana. They bought the patty. They bought the reggae. They bought the dance hall. They bought the flavor. They put the spice into England. England got spice from all different countries over here. All different all countries when they marry Indian style. They get to go into live in another culture. They learn the language, and yet still, right? You want to throw that all away for what? For what? Because of ignorancy. Like I said, some of the immigrants are running from turmoil. Right now in Israel, as we speak, children are unalived, bombs, buildings falling all around them. Some people are running from wars, Congo. Some people are running from all sorts of stuff, so much stuff. I can't even list half of them. I even spoke about the couple from Sierra Leone who was smuggled. I think they got smuggled or something, and they got caught. I think the smuggler got caught, and the wife got unalived. So you think these people's journeys is easy from where they at to come here? Their journey ain't even easy. They now have to face extra foolishness as they come here. Sometimes it's not even down to them where they are staying. It's down to the government where they are staying. They have no choice where they are put, right? They have no choice. They literally, when they was trying to fire up the hotel, the next day they moved them out. They have no idea where they're going. They could end up anywhere, right? Can you imagine, right? You leave your home country and you take what you can, whatever you're running from, and then you're getting pushed to pillow to post. That is not a nice feeling. Me, a child who's been pillow to post, know exactly how that feels when you have no grounding, no roots in the areas and spaces where you are. You are just all over the place. And they have to get sent to here, to there, to there. Because of the safety now, they got put into a coach and they had to be taken somewhere else. Then you see these young children. Now, people say racism is not taught. Yes, it's taught. Sure, bloody is taught. It is taught at a young age. It's taught at a young age, right? And I'm sure if some of we, especially who was in certain places, communities, if we set up our children to talk a certain way, you will be, honestly, this will be a whole different conversation, right? Racism is taught, it's not learned. When they're babies and when they're small, they don't see color. When they get older, that's when they start see color because it's down to the mother, father, somebody who's got an issue with that, or they had an issue or running with some type of the ethnicity, and they put it on their children, and they do not learn anything else. They don't educate themselves into other stuff. This is very sad. But anyway, like I said, I don't know what to call this rant. Whatever, get off my chest, get off my head. You know, this is just crazy. But anyways, I gotta leave it. You look can tell me in the comments, for those who's in the UK, how you feeling. People who's in the UK, you tell me how you're feeling, how you look at this whole thing. Because the next thing you know, martial law will be brought in. I keep telling, martial law will be brought in. If you think it's just you think some of these movies when they show certain things, you think it's joke. You do something and you do it, and they once they know they have to add on extra policing, and the policing tactics changes. Then it comes like an army. Then it turn into something else. Next thing you know, right, you're in Judge Dredd world or some next world or some crazy world. You don't know. But people are so blind or disoriented, not open-minded, slow. The girl was at the protest. The man asked her, "Why you protested?" She couldn't all now answer why she protested. All now she's still Why are you protesting? What is the point of protesting? Because you ain't protesting for them girls. You ain't protesting for them children. You're protesting for your ignorance. And because others feel the same way, they kick off too. You get a trigger. People, like I said, people had that holding in them for how long? They wanted to let off for how long? Not just now. They wanted to let off for so long. They want to let off bad. Now they get a chance to let off now. They let off everything to then mash up and brock up in their path. Any man in their way, they want to beat them up, want to trip them up. Now, just say that how those same communities you came after now, which it looks like is, I think, with some of the Muslim community, some of them, that the Imam had to come out and tell them, you can't do that. You're feeding into what they want you to do. The Imam come out and he said, what are you doing? You're feeding into what they want you to do. If you fight back, what do you think is going to happen? You feed into that, what's going to happen? Then there's going to be a whole bloodbath going on the streets, right? You're throwing acid in people's face. What the flip? I didn't know I was in a third world country. I thought Britain had evolved, or maybe I could be wrong. I don't know. I mean, I know. Anyway, people have to comment and tell me what you think, because, man, I think I said my piece on this one. That's why I put up the Windrush as the thumbnail, because you ask people to come to the country. People don't come here by themselves. Even in the other times, is you that went over and there, bother people and bring people here. All right. Even there is a program I was watching the other day with Chris, I forgot his name, and it's called something the Caribbean, the Caribbean Adventure. All right. His parents, his mum was a teacher, and then I think when she come over to England, she had to turn seamstress. Right? His dad ended up traveling. I think he came back and then he went to a part of Cuba. When you look at the man's story, that's the story of most of our parents that came over here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh no. Even to the Ghanaians that come over here, there's Ghanaians came over here. There's every single country you can think of that come over here. Sikh, everybody. But anyways, I ain't gonna waffle on. I'm not gonna repeat myself. In the comment, you tell me what you think of what you're thinking. The ones in the UK, what you think? What are you thinking of this situation? Can't be crazy now to go and sit down and educate my young one. When they call you a right or whatever, you don't listen to them. When they say, oh, you can't do this job, you have to be a maid or something, some next thing, even though there's nothing wrong with clean up after people, right? So they're telling you you can't be a lawyer, you can't be doctor. He wants to go back to them times. Very premature, prehistoric, primal. I don't even know. Anyways, let me come off. I will see you in the next one. Hopefully, I have some videos to upload. Try and upload. Please interact with the videos and them. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.